Yes, that is Miss Jennifer Hudson singing the I'll Fight song from the RBG movie. You guys, welcome to Hard-Headed Comedy presents Still Standing Monologues. I am your host for this Tuesday, Luz Michelle. Yes. Yes, full house tonight, you guys. Full house. Good for you. Take it in. Good for you. But of course, we started this evening with giving love and acknowledgement to the Miss Ruth Gator Ginsburg. She's the one that showed us and taught us how it's to be done. Never give up. Never quit. And no matter what you put your mind to, you will make it motherfucking happen. And all of us ladies belong at the table. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we do. And we have an all-female lineup for you guys, of course. Universe. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. It's paved for us. Now we just gotta do our motherfucking thing. Yes, we do. I've always said it, though. Us women are the ones who should be running this whole goddamn shit. Because, come on, any human being that can bleed for 5 to 7 days and not drop dead is a leader. That's a leader. That's a fucking leader. Yeah, that's who you go through a pandemic with. That's who you go with a national disaster with. Yeah, a soldier. Motherfucking soldier. Today's the first day of fall. Yes, got the little blazer on. Summer's my favorite, though. Summer's my absolute favorite. I love the humidity. I love the frizzy hair. I love the oily skin. I do. I love it. I feel like I'm giving something to my bones from Mother Nature. I love it. I love it. We'll have one air conditioner on in the house and everything else is just fucking hot. It's like 120 degrees. And we like it. Keeps us young. But I do love fall fashion, right? Come on. We fucking love fall fashion. The hats, the scarves, the wraparounds, the sweaters, the turtlenecks, the boots. Oh, I love it. The maroons and the olives and the beige, the yellows, the mustard. I love it. I love it. I actually have a degree in fashion. I do. My husband always rolls his eyes whenever I mention that. It's real. It's real. I have a degree. It's in fashion merchandising and marketing, and I got it at Whittoby Coburn in Manhattan. It's a real degree. It's in a fucking frame, too. I mean, it was definitely a different kind of fashion school. You know, it wasn't the big FIT. But it was fun, and we had our own little clique. It was the first time in my life I ever went to school with, like, every kind of ethnicity across the board. It blew me away. Because I went to school in Staten Island. I grew up in Staten Island, New York. I'm adopted by 2 Eastern European Jews, and I grew up where they had the second biggest dump in the world that they now call Heroin Island. Like, that's where I grew up. And everybody was Italian and Jewish, period, end of fucking story. I was the only Hispanic for miles. For miles. And I didn't even know I was Hispanic for a good minute. What? Jesus Christ. And I became friends with the one white girl. She became my best friend, Tara Lavin. Allah has a place for her in my heart. But I loved it because everyone was there. Every walk of life. You had Mexicans, you had the Cubans, you had the Dominicans, you had the Asians, you had the blacks, the Colombians, everyone, the Puerto Ricans, everyone under one roof. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fucking fun. Holy shit. We had teachers that would lock you out of the classroom just because they wanted to. They were like, no, you're not coming back in, and lock the door. Lock the door. You got written up if, like, your blouse wasn't correct with we had uniforms. It was a whole thing. Like I said, it was fucking fun, and I did learn a lot. I forgot a lot. That's why me and my husband, when we'll go to a store and I don't know what to print it, he's like, how did you go to fashion school? You didn't learn anything. You know what? I did learn, and between then and now, a lot of shit happened. You forget about gingham prints and all this other stuff. You forget satin. You know, it just somehow it fucking goes somewhere. I don't know. Do you remember what you did 15 years ago? Do any of us? Breathe. It's Tuesday. I know. Breathe. But those were the kind of schools I always went to. Even my high school was off the fucking hook. You had kids putting acid in teachers' coffees. You had students fighting at the top of their lungs with teachers and threatening them. People would be running up and down the hallway, fucking having fights or fucking tripping on ecstasy. People got arrested for selling drugs. It was fucking nuts. But you know what? So was college. And what I learned is that's my kind of school. That's what I need. That's my environment. And I graduated from all of them. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, boo. I did. I walked down the motherfucking aisle. All three of them. Nothing stopping me. Remote learning has started for some. That's a real fucking hoot. I can't help but think, like, what would we have done back in the day? Like, my daughter, when I was my daughter's age in the early 80s, there was no iPad. You weren't able to talk to your teacher through a video. What? Some of these kids are behind the computer from 9:20 to 3:20. How? Holy shit. What? Back in the day, I don't know what the fuck we would have did. You know what they had back in the day? So different it is. I remember I had this 5th grade teacher. She had a list on her chalkboard called DST, Deep Serious Trouble. And it always went up on the Monday of the week where open school night was happening. Yada, 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 something happened. I got to put my name on the list. She's like, you better get it up there, and you better make sure you write your name correctly. And I was like, all right. Number one, she gave no direction. All she said was write your name. So I went up to the board. I wrote it in the smallest fucking font I possibly could. That by Friday, they fucking totally forgot about it. Nobody knew what the hell was going on by Friday. Could you imagine that now? Everything is kids with their feelings. Everything's sensitive. Don't say this. Don't let them see that. Don't let them have a fucking peanut. It's nuts. It's nuts. Play dates. Your kids want to play with you now. My parents didn't play with me back in the day. When I went to a play date with my mother, she would drop me off in the room where the kids were, and that's where you fucking stayed. And then all the mothers, and I'm sure there were some fathers, they'd all go in the kitchen, smoke their cigarettes, smoke what they wish, drink, talk, gossip, and don't you dare come out of that room. Oh, hell no. We just had to survive. Could you imagine now? Like an ACS. Open the fuck up. Man, this shit they got away with. It's crazy. Oh, but open school night used to scare the fucking shit out of me. I used to always kind of like have this wild imagination, like how am I going to stop my father from going? Because he always went. He always went from preschool all the way up to college. He always went to open school night. He always wanted to know what the fuck was really happening. But I would try to think of everything, like, should I put like, an acid in his coffee? Should I try to pop a tire? Should I learn a rain dance? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I didn't want him to go. Because I had experiences when he would go, I'd walk in with him, he'd say our name, and the teacher would be like, you're Luz Michelle? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. They have no idea who I am because I never came. I looked in, I didn't like what I saw was going on. I knew I had a couple of weeks until I got caught. So I took the chance. My father would lecture me for days after those things. Days. I would have rather been fucking punished, sat in my room, and everything taken away than hear the same lecture. I'm not even kidding you, like 72 times a day. Relentless for weeks. It's okay. But But it is. Everything's about the kids' feelings now, and you have to watch it. Like, we have a son. He's a very emotional little guy. Like, he cries about everything. And he's been crying since the get. When he came out of me, he peed all the fucking nurses. Like, he's been pissed off from the get. From the get, this kid. They have this cute little thing, right, in his school. For everyone, you have your name on a little card, and there's a question of the day, right? One time the question of the day was, do you like to cook? Let's say there's 12 kids in the class. 11 of them said yes, and there was my son, all alone in the no section. In the no section! What? He's 3.5. His favorite thing is to tell you no. And he runs with it, and he's fucking so goddamn confident and handsome. It's quite interesting. I'm very proud of myself. I did something right. But it is different. Back in the day, the air conditioning holders that some buildings have, people used to put their kids in there. And that's where they napped. That's where the babies took naps. They felt they needed the fresh air, and it took them out of the house. What? And pit bulls were nannies, okay? Pit bulls were nannies. They were left alone with the children. And it fucking worked. It worked. Just like peanut butter. It's okay. It's okay. Not tonight, Satan. I know, it feels good. It's Tuesday. You guys, we're going to start to move the train out and get this party motherfucking even happen. As a reminder, all of our Venmos are running at the bottom of the screen. Because remember, there could be a pandemic. The world could be falling apart. There could be fires all over the world. And the water bill and the rent bill and the car bill will still motherfucking come. So good karma. With that said, you guys, get ready. Get those hands together. And welcome to the stage, Miss Chloe Radcliffe.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Well, I have no idea if you can hear me, so we're going to assume you can. Hi. Oh, my gosh. Luz is so amazing. My instinct is to say one more time for Luz, but hey, well, Luz, we're clapping for you. It's very funny. You lived such a different life. I lived such a different life than you. I'm like listening to you talk about college. I went to it's school, everything. I went to a Swedish Lutheran college on a hill in southern Minnesota where like the most diverse was like your grandpa was Irish. That was like crazy. It was so sheltered. The school is called Gustavus Adolphus, and it's named for Gustav Adolf, the barbarian king of Sweden, inventor of modern warfare strategy. Like it's a whole nother world. And what's funny is my dad's family is all from New York, and so I grew up coming out here for holidays and summers and that kind of stuff to visit. And I was always like, I'm a New Yorker. I get it. I can hack it in this city. And then I'm like, oh no, I'm so far. I am so far from being a New Yorker. I gotta just admit that I'm just a good little Swedish Lutheran girl from Minnesota. I'm so happy to be here. I should say for those of you who don't know, it's a birthmark. That's what it is. It doesn't lower my self-esteem enough for me to fuck you. That's I like to set that expectation early in the set. I get weird shit for my birthmark all the time. I'm used to it. I get it, right? I understand. But and I'm talking like weird, like normal reactions to my birthmark are people asking if it's dirt, marker, food, face paint. Those don't register on the Richter scale. I have had men kiss it in bars. I've had a woman stop me in the bathroom and say, "Oh my God, I love your face tattoo." And I was like, yeah, well, it's made some interviews weird. But I'm so used to weird shit. But now it's the pandemic, right? And so I wear a mask, and the mask sits right here. And so my mask covers my birthmark, and now I'm just walking around as one of you. I hate it. You normal people, you don't realize how much attention you're missing out on. I'm desperate for attention. I'm currently talking to myself into my laptop and I can't hear laughs, and I'm still like, yeah, but I bet someone's laughing somewhere. They need this. I need this. I need attention. So I miss all of that attention that I'm getting. I used to complain about it, and now I'm like walking around on the street, like pulling my mask down, like, you got something to say, huh? Yeah, I'm a fucking freak. You know you want to say it. I've now flown a couple times in the pandemic, and so I've now gotten used to this. At TSA, before they look at your ID, they ask you to pull your mask down, and I love that moment because I know what's coming, and they don't know what's coming. They don't know that there's like a fun surprise on the other side of the mask. One time I was flying and the guy asked me to pull my mask down, and the TSA man saw my birthmark and physically jumped. And what a fun game of peekaboo between two fully grown adults. That shit's only supposed to work on babies. He was 45. It worked. But I quarantined. I quarantined in New York. I was like here in the bad times. And if I'm honest with myself, I used to be like mad at people when I would hear them talk about like that they got out of New York or whatever. I would sort of feel like, be pissed off at them. And now I'm like, I recognize that anger is just rooted in jealousy. That's all it is, right? If I'm honest with myself, the only reason I stayed in New York during a pandemic is to be able to say that I stayed in New York during a pandemic. And that is a dog shit reason to stay in New York during a pandemic. It shouldn't, right? Quarantining in New York taught me that as a transplant, if you're from New York, right, Luz, it's your city. That's great. Yeah, absolutely. It's yours. As a transplant, there are only two good reasons to live in New York City. One of them, and there are two very good reasons. One is if you are chasing a dream and it has to do with the city. That's great. The other is if you want to fuck a lot of people. Those are two very valid reasons to live in New York City. And I moved from Minnesota to New York for, I would say, both of those reasons equally. And I did. I moved to New York and I was doing it. I was doing the comedy grind. I was out there. I was getting it. And everything felt amazing. And I was doing it every night. I was doing shows, and then I did it. I got the dream job. I write for the Tonight Show, and I was going into 30 Rock every single day. And I was doing it. It felt amazing. And then the pandemic hit, and now I submit jokes from my couch, and my boyfriend won't let me sleep around. So there is no reason for me to be living in New York City. I should not be here. I should be back in Minnesota with the other Lutherans. I quarantined with my boyfriend, and I love him very much. And we get along very well. We get along very well in the bedroom, except in one way. There's one thing that we disagree on. He still thinks that we should take each other's clothes off. And that's wrong. That's not how it works. He's like, babe, if we do it together, it's sexy, it's passionate. There is nothing less sexy or passionate than pulling my skinny jeans inside out until they get stuck on my ankles. I was wet, now I'm just sweaty. It can't be good for the person doing the pulling, right? Now we're in like a weird power struggle. Like, are you gonna get your thumb under the hem? Am I gonna point my toes? Just let me do it myself. It's my own clothes. He's not the first man who I've had this problem with. And I just want to be like, you don't know. You don't get it, right? I have a fucking degree in taking off skinny jeans. I've been doing it for 20 years. I know that it's about getting the thumb under the hem and the hem over the heel, right? I know that if it's cuffed at all, you're fucked forever. I know that. You don't know that. Straight men don't know that. The only straight man who I would trust to take off skinny jeans is one who sharpied his fingernails black in high school, right? Those with you, I might stand a chance. But other than that, it's like, you just let me handle it, right? I don't know. I feel like I can't blame him though. I feel like I can't blame him because I I think he is just still in rom-com mode. I think he still thinks like that, right? Like, I think he still thinks that we can like make out and open an apartment door at the same time. That's not right. That's not how it works. I think he thinks I think he thinks that panties still drop perfectly to the floor. And I know what shot he's talking about. I get it. I know that, right? It's beautiful. It's the ankles and the red lace. But that's not real life, right? That's not how it works. In real life, my thong rolls down my thigh into a little turd that I have to kick under the bed so he doesn't notice. And then if I want to put it back on, I gotta like squink it out. I gotta shake it so I can step back in. Just let me do it myself. And let that be the only thing I have to do myself. Yes, I don't know. I have honestly no clue if anybody got that or whatever. Well, what a funny thing to just say that to yourself. I'll tell you one more thing, but it's kind of long. Okay, whatever. I'm going to talk about high school. Luz is talking about high school. I wasn't popular in high school. I was precocious in high school, which is not what you want to be in high school. In high school, being precocious means you know a lot of words, but you spit when you talk. Right? Being like precocious is like no other teenager wants to see you naked. And they did not. I went to high school, so I went to high school in Minnesota. I went to high school with 2 bachelorettes ago, Becca K. And I also went to high school with a girl who starred in an ABC sitcom. And it doesn't I actually shouldn't even frame it like that because that makes it sound like it might be somebody you know. An ABC drama pitch, you haven't heard of it. It's fine. It doesn't matter. You don't have to know who these people are. All you have to know, what I want you to know is that both Becca and Kylie were gorgeous in high school and were super, super popular. I had big boobs in high school, but I also had pit stains to my elbows. And that's like less of a punchline and more just a statement of fact. I was so sweaty. I have put maxi pads in my armpits, sweated through those, so I still had a big pit stain, but I had a little dry crotch in the center with wings. I was such a weird kid. I would put okay, I'm gonna tell you this one last thing, and then I'm gonna go. I would put every single day. I would buy 2 cookies in the cafeteria, and I would put them in the cafeteria microwave. And then, in the middle of my peers, out loud, I would say, "And you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2. You're on the air." And then I would open the microwave door and eat my cookies by myself. But and it's like not even, sometimes people feel bad about that. Or some go like, "Aw, you don't have to feel bad for me." I did that every day. I didn't do that once and go, "Oh, this isn't okay," and stop. I did that every single day. That's crazy behavior. I've had friends hear this and be like, "Why did you do that?" And I don't have a good answer other than go home and try it yourself. It's very satisfying. But it's crazy behavior. It is the behavior to do it in public. It's crazy. It's the behavior of someone who does not have enough shame in the home. And I didn't grow up with a dad. I didn't grow up with siblings. I just grew up with a single mom who loved me so much. And so I would go to school and be like, "Well, this feels bad." But then I would go home and be like, "Yeah, but the only person who matters tells me I'm a magical genius. So I don't know how that squares." And I spent all of high school being like, one day the popular kids are going to get their comeuppance. They'll be sad and ugly, and I'll be famous and amazing. And I want you to know that both Becca and Kylie are hotter than ever and incredibly rich. And I just moved for the second time because of mold. So we're doing it. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much, everybody.
Miss Chloe Radcliffe. Yes. Tuesday. I was a weird kid too. I did weird shit. My mother had a bunch of trees in front of her house, and she had this one tree that I guess you kind of say looked like a vagina. Like it was like a solid bark, and then it opened up with a hole, and then it went big bark again. I would purposely stick my head in this tree, knowing that I would need assistance getting out. I would do it twice a week, and I have no idea why, and I always got in a fucking shitload of trouble, and it always hurt, but I did it. I was an only child for a minute, okay? I was an only child for the first 7 years of my life, yeah. So when, my brother came, because he just came, because he's adopted too, my goal was to kill him. It was my only goal. It was my only goal when he came to our family. He just fucking came out of nowhere, and he took up a lot of attention. And remember, I grew up with Jews, so the boy, he's treated like a fucking king. Red carpet, all of it. I was pushed to the side, I never let it go, and I never fucking will. And yes, New York City is happening. Family and I, we went in 2 weekends in a row, and it was very nice. It was very nice. People are in the parks. People are eating. It's a mixed bag. People are wearing masks. I will say that every single person we saw was wearing masks. It's just a lot quieter. It's a lot quieter. You're not bumping into like 50 people just to go from point A to point B. You can find a parking spot. You can grab a train and get a seat. Like it's different. It's different, but it's still alive. It's absolutely still alive. It's New York. New York doesn't die. There's no such thing. You leave, you come. You always come back. If you leave for good, you always do a trip out here. You do. Once it's in your blood, it's in your blood. Yeah, I'm with you with the undressing. I don't know. Like I still love that stuff. I do, but it's like I wear Spanx. So when it comes to like that part of the night, it's like, whoa. Certain way to take it off, certain way to get out of this thing, okay? That's the one thing I won't miss about the summer. Spanx in the summer, it's like the Olympics. But in the fall, you are good. You can Spanx that shit up. Yeah. I'm not embarrassed to say that I wear Spanx. I wear Spanx. You know why I wear Spanx? Because the 2 times I got pregnant with my kid, I was literally morbidly obese. I was, and it's fine. I came in around like 240, 220 with them. It's fine. I ate everything. If it was carbs, if it was cheese, it was sauce, it was in. You can't drink. You can't have any Mary Jane for 9 months. You can't. You just don't. Because if you do, then you feel guilty, God forbid, so you don't. It was insanity for me. Oh, so many rules. You can't eat sushi. You can't have ham. You can't have turkey. You can't jump off cliffs. You can't do this. You can't party. I mean, come on. But they're worth it, right? They're so cute. But 9 months with no cocktail, that'll do a lot to a lady, ladies and gentlemen. That would do a lot. But not tonight, you guys. If you're having them, keep pouring them. Because it's time to welcome the next lady to the stage. Yes, you guys. Get those guilty pleasures ready. Unbutton those pants for comfort. And welcome to the stage, Miss Ariel Evans.
Thank you. I never wanted to have kids before, and Luz just cemented. I'm not having kids. Can't give up drinking. This setup is nice. I feel like I'm screaming into a mirror, which is just my nightly routine now. So it feels good. It feels good to be here with you guys, or I guess by myself, alone. My name is Ariel. Yes, like the one from your childhood. 1996, former Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, from everybody's childhood. Like many of you, I've been working from home, and I don't really mind it, but it's changed the way I communicate. So now when I send an email that says, I hope this finds you well, I actually mean it. Taking a lot of conference calls over Zoom. And I think that all interactions should be Zoom interactions. But you still decide if you want to interact with somebody, or just be a muted black screen. That's also nice too. I used to work in politics, and I keep having to remind myself, like, there is an election going on. But I think Joe Biden is okay, in that I think he's an okay candidate, And if somebody asks me if I'm voting for him, I say, sure, okay. I support Joe Biden like a 15-year-old bra. Kind of, but not really. I'm obviously going to vote Democrat. I look at Democrats the same way I look at the electric slide. I don't really enjoy it, but I have to because I'm Black. It's a requirement for us. Uh, Things have gotten crazy. I've never been more convinced that Mother Nature is a middle-aged white woman, right? Mother Nature has put us all in timeout because we wouldn't stop touching the thermostat. It's gotten so bad that all the world leaders and Donald Trump are giving press conferences because Mother Nature has to speak to the manager. Mother Nature is the mother of all Karens. She gave us a virus that disproportionately affects Black and Brown people and the working class. That is some big Karen energy right there. You already know Mother Nature is writing a 4-page Yelp review about Earth. Like, if I give it 0 stars, I would. The atmosphere sucks. Ice melts too quickly, so all the drinks are watered down, and it's too much of an urban vibe. Before quarantine, I always said that I needed more time. And now that I have all the time in the world, I could use less of it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I could use less time. I've been trying to teach myself how to play guitar because I want to seduce 19-year-old me. It's a passion of mine. So I will play you the one song I know, which is No Songs. That's the one song I know is No Songs. I haven't learned it yet. I always, this is a little tangent, I always wonder what my neighbors think because they can definitely hear me just screaming the same routine every single night. And they're like, is she going crazy? Because these jokes aren't funny and she keeps repeating them to herself. So they're probably going to call CPS on me soon, I guess, or whatever the adult version of that is. Obviously, I'm not good with like acronyms. I confuse like sayings and idioms a lot. Like for example, I used to date a cop, and after all the protests, I now know that that is the wrong way to fuck the police. It's not right, you guys. Just throwing that out there. Before the cop, I used to date a lot of drug dealers because I like to play both sides of the war on drugs. I'm like the CIA. And to date a lot of drug dealers, it's like my thing. Like I like basketball, the outdoors, and hooking up with drug dealers. I have fucked more drug dealers than the Clinton's 94 crime bill. In the streets, I'm a lady, but in the sheets, I'm a super predator. Like, it's gotten so bad that my nickname in bed is DEA because I'm just going after Black and Latino men. I mean, okay, I'll go after a white guy if they're big enough. In the drug game, that's it. Like Chloe, I'm also a transplant. I grew up in Seattle. And growing up, my dad did a lot of weird things. Like I remember my dad used to carry around this life-size walking stick, and he had no trouble walking. Nor was he Gandalf the Great. So it's a lot of weird things. I remember in 3rd grade, my dad showed up at my school, which was really weird because he was not supposed to be there. According to the King County judge, my dad pulls me in close and he's like, Ariel, we're running away to Las Vegas together. What? Oh my God. I'm just joking. My dad didn't say that. My dad went without me. Even though my dad left a long time ago, I still carry the lessons he taught me. Like, my dad taught me that life is like a marathon, not a sprint. Because when you spend your whole life doing cocaine, you're going to always feel like you're running. My dad taught me that cocaine is like Taylor Swift. White and okay in moderation. Just gotta pace yourself, you guys. Remember that while you're doing cocaine alone in quarantine. My mom is, what is my mom? I don't know. My mom, I guess. My mom's a public school teacher, and people always thought that made me a good student. That just made us poor, you know. My mom, she found like creative ways for babysitters. Like I played every single sport. I was in the chess club. And I used to go to church every Sunday. And I recently found out that my mom would take me and my siblings to church and she would go park the car. She'd really go to the casino down the street. So while I was praying for my soul's eternal salvation, my mom was praying for a pair of aces. I guess, my mom, she is Native American. So I guess technically that is her place of worship. Don't get mad. I can say that. I have a tribal tattoo. Like we went to church from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., which even for a Black church is too long. Jesus Christ basically was my babysitter. Let me tell you, that guy had some rules. It was like, don't be gay, don't eat shellfish, don't count cards. I mean, Jesus, can I live? Or can I live? Now my brother is in a cult, and I'm in Gamblers Anonymous. To be fair, though, my mom did find our Lord and Savior. Our Lord and Savior is what my mom calls tequila, so that's nice. My mom, my brother, he really is in a cult. It's a weird family dynamic. Makes Christmas awkward because he shows up in a robe. And I've been doing a lot of research about it, and I found myself at the Heaven's Gate website. Heaven's Gate is a 1990s suicide cult with some fresh-ass Nike kicks. And I was reading the website, and I was like, man, this is kind of interesting. And I had to remind myself, like, this is a cult. Because if Jim Jones was telling me to leave my human mammal body and ascend to the gates of heaven into the evolutionary level above human, I don't know. Maybe. I'm already antisocial. Tom Cruise could easily isolate me from my family. We'd be easy list, you guys. You guys think, I guess I'm just asking myself, but I always wonder if cults are just taking meetings over Zoom now. Like they'll switch their virtual background. Like, no, Supreme Leader, look, I'm already at Heaven's Gate. I'm here already. It's nice up here. Got the Kool-Aid and everything. I'm a feminist, but sometimes I'm a feminist, but sometimes I feel like a bad feminist, like when I don't call out a cat caller or when I dance to an R. Kelly song. I have so many options. I'm alone in my apartment, but I just cannot stop playing Ignition Remix. I can't stop. I have a problem, you guys. I'm a bad feminist. Like, I support equal pay, but I think that if women are going to make 80 cents on the dollar, women should have to work 80% of the time, right? Women should get to log off their computer at 3 p.m. I'm a Black woman, so I'm logging off at 11 a.m., just waking up for my second lunch. That's it. Highly recommend second lunch. I think it's part of the new nutrition pyramid. FDA approved it, so you guys should get on that. I'm a godmother, and being a godmother is kind of like being the Queen of England. It's just a title. And in order to have any real responsibility, a lot of people have to die. My godson's dope, though. He's 7 years old, and I want to leave you guys with a little bit of wisdom he gave me the other night. My godson said to me, Ariel, a fart is like a doorbell saying, the poop is here. He is a genius, you guys. You guys have been so great. Thank you so much. My name is Ariel.
Miss Ariel Evans. Laughter, the best medicine. It'll always save your life. Always. I love a good second breakfast. I do. I can fucking eat breakfast all day long. I love it. I love it. I love the eggs. I love the pancakes. I love the bacon, even though I'm a vegetarian. I love the bread with the butter. If they have rye, I'm fucking over the moon. I love breakfast. And I like mimosas just without the orange juice. It gives me heartburn. And Mother Nature, she is a woman you do not cross or challenge. Holy shit. I have seen her roar. Where we are, hell yeah. When she's coming through a wind, man, she fucking comes through your pores. And her creatures, they're quite something. Every morning, we have deer on the lawn. Every morning. They just have a fucking quinceanera and just fucking Lyme disease and tick all over the place. We have hawks grabbing fucking 10-foot snakes off the front sometimes. It's nuts. You'll find a vulture every now and then, like fucking picking out a prey in the driveway. You're like, what? What the fuck is going on? What? We're from Brooklyn. We came from Brooklyn. What is going on out here? It's crazy. Fucking birds start chirping out here like 5:45, and they're either arguing or they're fucking singing. Either way, it's piercing. It's, and it's also beautiful. It's beautiful. And soon we're going to start getting the turkeys. I fucking love the turkeys because, number one, they come in squads. It's like 8 to 10 of them. And when they walk, they stick their chest out and they walk very slowly, very confidently, very on point. And then the second they hear a noise, they go to the left, they go to the right, they go to the left, they go to the right, they go up, they go down, they bump into each other. They don't know what the fuck. Yes. It's a good time. It is. It's a good time. And you know what? My father was a little weird too. He had a lot of things that he loved that people didn't understand. Like he collected bottles. It was his thing. He'd do it on the weekends. He'd do it before work. He'd do it after work. My mother at one time had 24 blue plastic bags filled to the gill with bottles. It's what he did. He would say, there's free money. There's free money all over the place and nobody's taking advantage of it. I don't know. But since he passed, when I do go to the stores and I see the people collecting bottles, especially when I'm in Staten Island, I always wave. Because he had a crew. Come on, he had a crew. It was really cute. It was his little country club. It was his Stop and Shop club. It's cute. Yeah, but that's all. My father always had something now. He went through a period he was addicted to Gatorade. He had severe OCD. He was addicted to Gatorade. So at one time you would open the pantry and there'd be like 10 blue, 10 red, 10 yellow, 10 frost, everything. And he had to have it and he had to see it. It was over the top. He was obsessed. He was obsessed with gum. He'd eat like 10 packs a day. I don't know. I know. The thoughtless stuff. It's so funny. And he didn't give a shit. That's what I miss about him. He just didn't give a shit. All right, you guys. It's time. It's time to bring the final female of the evening. So you guys, get those hands together and welcome to the stage, Miss Sarah Hartshorne.
Oh my God, did you see how I did that? It's like I was walking on the stage. Oh, I need to set this computer up right now. You can't see my face. All right. I love that everyone's talking about their dads. That's so nice. My dad is a trip. I love him. He's the best. He actually, he was hospitalized recently. He's okay. I want to just start the story with that because it does get scary. He was okay now, but he was hospitalized and, he's recovering, but it was corona, and it's really scary because it can mess with your mind. It made him really kind of out of it, and so the doctor, after he was hospitalized, called me and said, Ms. Hartshorne, we just need some information about your father. Like, we're trying to figure out how his mental state is. And I was like, oh my God, yes, of course. Because my dad is like the smartest person I've ever met. And so, the thought of him being out of it was really scary. So they were like, he seemed really confused. He wouldn't get into an ambulance. Like, he wouldn't get in. And I was like, he says that ambulances are rolling vestiges of a broken healthcare system, and he's not going to get in one until Bernie's president. So that's normal. That's normal. That's just him. And they were like, oh, okay. We asked him what day it was, and he did seem to know the day, but he wouldn't tell us what holiday it was. So we're just not sure what's going on. And I was like, he said that President's Day is a holdover from when we worship monarchs as gods, and until we let it go, we're never going to be in a true democracy. So, like, that's normal too. That's normal. And they were like, okay, well, he doesn't seem to like want to rest if he won't take a nap. And I was like, look, he stays woke, okay? Like that's who he is. And they were like, we're just trying to get a baseline. Like he just needs some rest. And I was like, yeah, honestly, so do I, dude. I need a nap. Okay, he's exhausted. You do what you're gonna do. Stephen Hartshorne stays woke. But he is okay now. He's all right. He's quarantined with his roommates, who are also a bunch of like middle-aged dudes who've been single for too long. So his house kind of looks like it's like if Snow White never showed up. You know, it's just a real bummer. Like the dwarves were not cleaning the toilets. Okay, I can guarantee you that. That is a fact. It was absolutely disgusting. Like I don't know. I love my dad, but he's been single for 27 years, and every time I go home, like I want to call up all my single male friends and be like, "You got to get a bed frame, okay? You got to get a bed frame, and you got to get some high quality bedding, okay? Because if you stay single long enough, it's no good, okay? No pussy, no sheets, it's a Hartshorne household, all right? No curtains. Like, come on, take care of yourself." Yeah, also, yeah, people were saying New York is dead. That's what they said. So that's it. I don't know, it's very weird because, like, even during the quarantine, like, I hunkered down really hard, but I did also go to the protest. Surprising no one, I am my father's daughter, and I did get arrested, which, it is what it is. I got arrested for protesting, and I just thought that I didn't cry, okay? Because like, my name is Sarah, and the birth of Sarah is a Becky, Like, this looks like it cries when it gets arrested, and it didn't, not once. But I was a real dick to my arresting officer because I didn't know that then you got to spend the rest of the night with him. So, like, when he was putting me in handcuffs, I was like, fuck you, I've made more women come than you. Like, even if I've only ever masturbated, I've made more women come than you. And then he was like, okay, we're going to spend about 6 hours together. Can you please chill? And I was like, what? All cops are bad except for you, Kevin. You're okay. Please let me go. Please, can we? I don't want to. I can't spend 6 hours with you. Please let me go. But it's all right. It was a long night. And I don't know. Yeah, New York's not dead. New York's fine. Yeah, you ride the train. You give each other space. I feel like the pandemic has really given us an excuse to do what we as a country love, which is to judge other people, right? The masks are just a new fun element to that, right? We just get to go and be like, okay, well, you're not wearing that right. What's happening here? And that feels good. That feels good. Judging people is fun. I don't have a joke about that. That's just a thing that I like to do. Just me? Oh, okay. I feel bad in a lot of this because working is great for me. Both my husband and I are working from home, and I still like him. So like that's something, right? And there's also it's kind of been great for our sex life, right? There's nothing to do but each other, okay? And there's really nothing like having like good, hard, loud sex and then hearing my landlady talk quietly upstairs. That's a treat. That's a real treat. It's a real New York experience. But I am married to a man, but I used to be gay, and I still am as well. That's how that works. But I used to be, full gay, and then I started sleeping with other women. And then I'm sorry, I fucked that joke up. Freudian slip? I think so. I used to be gay. I used to be full gay, and then I started sleeping with men, and my life got worse. Am I right? No. My husband really wishes I would stop telling that joke, and he's right. It's not true. I love him. It's been great. I honestly, like working from home together has been very fun. Like, just seeing all the different like work from home styles, right? Like my husband does this very weird thing. Okay, where like he gets up in the morning and he gets dressed and he sits down and he works. That's all it's okay. it's just going to be studied. I also, the thing that I miss most, I think, in quarantine is attention. So I started an OnlyFans because I wasn't getting enough attention on Instagram. And that's been a real education. And that's another reason I feel bad. I'm actually making more money than I've ever made before because I'm on Instagram. But being on OnlyFans has taught me a couple things. First, I have no idea what men want. I don't know, it's just very mystifying and very humbling. Okay, it's very humbling, right? Because I got on OnlyFans to like be sexy and slutty, and I'm making all of my money. All anyone wants to pay me to do is to talk reassuringly to them in a Midwestern accent. Okay? I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if I'm doing something so right. Oh, okay. Oh, you're doing great. Yeah. You're a really naughty boy. That is a nice penis. Okay? That is a good gracious. That's a good penis. Okay. That's all they want. That's all they want. I think is someone to just tell them that they have a really nice penis. I'm learning, I'm learning a lot. I also, I can't believe I'm going to close on this, but I can't hear you, so I can't tell if it goes well or not. But Ariel was talking about being a bad feminist. I also think I'm a bad feminist sometimes. Not that bad, because like I work in an abortion rights nonprofit, you know what I mean? So like that gives me some kudos, some credit, right? Just doing the part for the environment with the abortions, just knocking out those teeny tiny carbon footprints. But sometimes like I feel bad because I don't like oral sex. I don't like receiving oral sex, but I do love giving blowjobs. And here's why. Penises are new to me, right? They're so exciting, okay? I have an ecosystem. I have a jungle. I'm so familiar, right? When I used to be a lesbian, my straight male friends would be like, Sarah, the clitoris. It's a mystery. It's a Rubik's Cube. It's anathema. And I'll be like, it is a button, okay? Push the button, Jack, all right? Like that. I know this so well, and then the penis was just going to come up in my face, but that's adorable. Let's suck on it, But I don't like receiving oral sex. And the thing is that I found, when I would tell a woman that, what she would do is this crazy thing where she would use her hands to make me come. Okay, that's what she would, and that was the end of the story. And it was a great story, and we all had a nice time. When I tell a man that I don't like oral sex, he looks at me like I'm not good with it. But then an hour later, that little hiker is tired and dehydrated and needs some snacks and a nice Midwestern lady to tell him he's doing okay. Oh, I get it now. Thank you guys so much. This was so much fun.
Miss Sarah Hartshorne. Yes. Take it in. Take it in. I think that was a question for a lot of women in 2020. Being locked down with your partner. It's like, what do they want? What do they want? It's been 112 days, and I don't know. I'm picking up something. That was crazy. 24/7 with your partner was off the hook. The whole world was shut down. The whole world. When you get in a relationship, or if you're getting married, getting engaged, moving in with someone, people give advice. They'll give advice. This might happen, that might happen, yada, yada, yada. No one ever would said, there might be a time where you're going to have to be together every single day, all day, and everything is going to be shut down. Like work, outdoors, going out for a walk, nothing. That can happen. No, but now we can tell people that. Now we gotta tell them. Yeah. You gotta train for that shit. You gotta train. Oh, you guys, this was Tuesday night. Oh, you know it felt good. And as a reminder, all of our Venmos are running at the bottom of the screen. So give a little because, whatever you believe in, they're watching. They are. And Miss Chloe Radcliffe, she had to step out because that fine female had another show tonight. But you can follow her on Instagram at Chloe.Radcliffe. Oh, it's the light. It gives me dry mouth. So you guys, I'm going to welcome in these two ladies again, and they're going to let you know how you can find them. Oh my God, I need water. I haven't had water in 3 days. That's why. All right, you guys, give it up one more time for Miss Ariel Evans and Miss Chloe Radcliffe. Miss Ariel, let them know how they can find you.
Absolutely. So you guys can check me out on Instagram. It is Ariel Diamond Evans 8. Diamond is a family name, first and last name. So check me out on Instagram, you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Good. Miss Sarah, let them know how they can find you.
It's just my name on all social media platforms, Sarah B. Hartshorne, Sarahb, and then last name is Hartshorne. It's like if a heart had a horn. And find me. And then also, if you find one, I have links to all the others in the bio and stuff. So, yeah.
Yes, give it up for them and follow them and support women in the arts. It's extremely important. You guys, we're back next Tuesday, 9/29 at 9 p.m. with an all-male lineup and me. I'm always there. Remember, you guys, donate, speak up, make a fucking difference. And follow us at Hard Hitter Comedy on Facebook and on YouTube. As always, you guys, stay safe, stay sane, stay motherfucking sanitized. Good night, you guys.